Hello, welcome back to Ratropolis. I'm gonna play another Scientist Plus run. I feel it. After losing that last one too, I don't know, it was a bit of a tilter. But it's okay. Losing runs to the AI, it's not something that I should be upset by at this point in my Ratropolis career. Just whoops, the enemies, they did it. My units, they just got strung out and we died. That's okay. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. It's, what day is it? Wednesday? Nice preserve. Excellent turn 1 preserve there. It's not Wednesday. It's definitely Tuesday. Right, it's Tuesday. I'm streaming Slay the Spire as well as, I should play that one cheese by the way. Streaming Slay the Spire this week. Or today and tomorrow, I suppose. Is how I should phrase it. I played 2 nights of Sekiro. I enjoyed it a lot. However, I don't want to play a lot of Sekiro. I'm having fun with it, mind you, but I want to, you know, take a little breather from Sekiro as well. It's something that is fun, but it's not something that is like, it's going to be super popular, which I recognize, and I'm not playing games just for the popularity aspect, mind you. I've talked ad nauseum about that, I feel like, at this point, but, you know. I also wanted to play Slay the Spire in this little break I'm taking from Monster Train, and so I'm going to. That's all there is to it. And if I find myself really hating it, I'm just gonna play Sekiro tomorrow instead. But now that I've become relatively good at Monster Train, I think I'm a pretty good Monster Train player. I feel like going back to Slay the Spire, a game that I am historically bad at, is going to be good for me. It's going to be good to go back to that game and be like, okay, now how do I become better at this game? What is my learning? What am I supposed to learn here, right? It's interesting. If you're interested in seeing those Slay the Spire VODs, I'll consider highlighting them. But in the past, like, I don't necessarily know what to highlight, more or less, because all of my runs are losses in Slay the Spire typically. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes, right? I haven't quit Slay the Spire cold turkey. I played like I don't play a lot of it, mind you, but I played a bit of it for that charity event back in June. That was 2 months ago. Wow. Slay the Virus. It was the end of June, I believe. Where has the time gone? But I played it back then, and I gotta tell you, when I played it back then, I was like, oh man. If this weren't for a good cause, I would not be playing this. I was not having a great time. But it's just like, the game's just a little tired for me. The game's great, of course. By the way, on this run, I want to try that strategy of upgrading our guards on the Wave 9 event here. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try giving the guards the +10 attack, or the +2 attack, and seeing if we just win off of it. The bad cards in this deck are frozen. I'm gonna remove Grain, I guess. Even though it's frozen, it's fine to remove it, I think. I should be spawning a mutant as well. Take a repair. That's fine. But yeah, gonna give Slay the Spire a shot after a while. Sekiro is super fun though. Like, I don't know why I stopped playing that game when I was playing through it the very first time, because the game is really good. If you haven't played it, you definitely should give it a shot. It's, oh, also if you're interested in seeing me play it, the VODs are on YouTube. It's just Sekiro Night 1. I put as little effort into it as possible so I could just get them up right after the stream, more or less. So I want to remove a card here. I don't want to remove cheese yet. I think that cheese is more valuable right now than anything else. Although then again, at this point I think it's fine. We're into the 90 golds. I think it's okay to get rid of the cheese. Drop station farm. We're gonna slow down a bit here, it feels like. Gonna start to hit a bit of a wall. Might have to pause the recording. It looks like we're about to get a delivery. Is it not? Did I miss the entire seed event? Am I crazy? I guess I missed the entire seed event. That's super weird. We'll see if the dogs get super rowdy. If they do, I'll pause the recording and we'll be back. I mean, you won't notice. You'll notice because I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna be right back. At this point, I just kind of, I used to just seamlessly, no, not necessarily seamlessly, but I'd find a good spot to stop the recording, and I'd just pause the recording, and I would pick it back up, right? Like, for example, if I were to, I would just stop it right here, and then I would pick up exactly where I was and just get back into whatever dialogue I was having. It's the only thing that would be different would be the music. If you were very keen, you would notice the music jump, and occasionally I didn't have a super smooth transition, I didn't have a good stopping point, what have you, but it would still be okay. So waste plus espionage seems kind of rough, right? I think that perhaps if I'm going to take espionage, I don't want to have waste. That may be the case, or I just need to play them in the other order, perhaps? Perhaps. 11, 3, 2... I want more guards on this side. And we're chilling, okay. I think that with the +2 attack we should crush, right? I think that this line was really genius. Going for +2 attack on your guards sounds really strong here. When you, especially in Scientist Plus, when you have this massive stack of guards. Grab the library here. Take the espionage. I think I do want to get rid of this waste at this point. I think its usefulness wears out when you pick up espionage a little bit. Take an ambush. Doesn't make a huge difference. I want to make sure I get a mutant on the right side here. Okay. This is a good looking run though. I gotta tell you, it's looking solid. I'm into it. So I feel like I understand this game mode enough now to know the wins. I feel like I know the winning pickups on this, right? Basically Plague Doctor. Plague Doctor, and in this one also Hyper Beam is good. But as it sits, right, we got a 14 stack of guards just kind of going in here. Solid. I feel like it's kind of a bait to pick up other units in this early game. I feel like it's way better just to go with guards. It feels like it anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. Perhaps I'm incorrect. However, it feels like it's better just to stack up a bunch of guards. Especially for the line where we're just going to take +2 attack to deployed units. I think especially there. What do you got for me, Mr. Merchant? Breed, farm, wall, market. An extra wall doesn't sound bad so that I have the space for weasel barrels. I think that's going to be where we go here. Are the dogs going to go off? Oh yeah, they're going to go off. I'll be back momentarily when they're done. Alright, where were we? Went ahead and took a little break and just ate while I was at it. I don't have to do it later. At the time I made a little spaghetti. Alright, where am I in this run now? That's right, we have a massive stack of guards on either side. Now I was debating on if I wanted to buy this wall or not. I've decided that I will buy the wall, because the market's also good. I think if it was just the wall I'd probably pass that, but the market's solid as well. And having one extra wall to space out for weasel barrels is probably going to end up being a good decision in the long term. But yeah, dude, I had a pretty good little bit of spaghetti, a little angel hair pasta, a little tomato sauce, a little meatball action. Pretty good. It's like, it was when I was in college the first time around, it was my, I survived the week meal. Like I would eat it, or I would make it on Thursdays when I got back from my last class at like 6 p.m. I was like, alright boys, we made it, we're eating good. Jarred spaghetti sauce, angel hair pasta, and like obviously it's not necessarily good per se, but considering what I usually ate which was just soup, it was like, oh, I took the 5 minutes to cook this. Incredible. So yeah, we're gonna try the +2 attack since we have 30 guards in play here. Never in the past have I tried this, however. We have 30 guards out on wave 9, I think, in this situation, which is a situation that, when I was thinking about which event to path into, I would have never, I would have never picked, excuse me, would have never picked that event because I never have the money for it, right? I never have, when do you ever have 15 guards out? And the answer is, oh, in Scientist Plus you have 15 guards out because, you know, you just make you make killer money through that one preserve. And it feels like you always get preserve off of your first discovery. I don't know, this might just be bias, but it feels to me like I'm always getting a preserve. And I'm not complaining either. Healing potion, good. Wait for these wastes to wear out. I think we have a pretty solid opening here. I'm just gonna step back for Weasel Barrels now. Monster Egg is really good, I think. I think Monster Egg is just one of the best tanks in the game. I'm gonna grab him. Just gonna grab him. Just gonna take it, right? Why not? He's really good. Put my money where my mouth is. I think he's really good. I'm gonna take him. He seems very solid. I think the monster that you get from it is less good, obviously, but a unit with 3 baseline armor, pretty good. And 100 health, pretty good. It's like what Guardian wishes he was. And after this wave, I'll move these guys back, and we'll be set up for Weasel Barrels. We'll just let them break this wall, and then we'll leave it broken in case of Weasel Barrels break wall. But yeah. Take a biolab here. I don't hate it. And another wall is not a good idea. Probably no Tesla Tower either, since we're not doing Electron. Huh. I'll take a biolab here. Cool, cool. But yeah, really not a whole lot going on. My classes start in like 3 weeks, and it's weird. All I can really say is it feels weird. Not necessarily bad nor good, just strange to be going back to college. Especially in this climate, you know? But you don't need me to tell you that. You know it's a strange climate out there. It's summer, it's hot. Haha, you thought I was talking about something else, didn't you? I'm just gonna take the win here. There's no reason for me not to take the win here. That's all I'm gonna say. Why would I not pick Plague Doctor? I don't even have to play him for a little while, right? But we have all the pieces now. It's worth it for me to morph here, even though I can't play anything. Morphing these guys is worth 240 gold, which is good. I guess I can play the mutant. We got 2 eggs, we got 16 guards, and 3 mutants, and 3 lab rats, and then this side needs eggs. Okay. I just need population. Like, it's super, super population bottlenecked. It'd be a good time to whip out that events guide, and, oh, it is Weasel Barrels. Excellent news. I wonder how this plan is going to work against the guard that has the projectile defense, or the boss that has a projectile defense, rather. I wonder if we're going to see problems here. I think we shouldn't, but still maybe a slight concern. Realistically speaking, when I removed that grain all that time ago, it was probably not worth it. There's really no reason for me to remove grain, right? Since it's, how often am I getting to 8 card draw, right? Basically never, actually. Outside of through card hoard, which I'm not planning on doing much of anyway. It was probably incorrect for me to remove the grain, but I think that was from the Wave 4 event when I did that. It was interesting, because preserving a card in this is just like it's removed, effectively. The card's gone. Never to be seen again. Yeah, like half of their shots hit the boss, it's good enough. I should probably wait on the Plague Doctors. Yeah, there's no reason, when we're so tight on population, I shouldn't play Plague Doctor until I have the upgrade. That's what I'm trying to say. May as well look at this. What's inside? Garbage. Oh. Excuse me, I ate, so I have the hiccups. You understand, I hope. Upgrade. Probably just upgrade Plague Doctor, right? There you go. And now we just put down like 2 Monster Eggs, we put down like 3 or 4 Plague Doctors, and we win the game. Pretty solid, I gotta tell you. Plague Doctor is just like an auto-win pickup, though. This unit is so strong. Like, I think the video went up 2 days ago now. The, like, strongest unit in the game. I've said it about a few units in this game now. Said it about Fletcher in Merchant Plus. I'll say it about Plague Doctor, dude. Plague Doctor's fucking busted. I think that he's stronger than Fletcher. The only downside about Plague Doctor is that it's an epic, so it's a little less likely to get it than something like Fletcher. But still, like, come on. It's so good. It's just insane. It leaves a little, like, when they miss, they still hit the next enemy, too. It's just crazy powerful. And with these 5 attack guards, too, this is just, like, I think that you could probably win Scientist Plus almost always. As long if you get a preserve from your first discovery, I think you always get this. I would look up the I'd look it up, but I'm not going to. I don't care. I'm gonna take Warmth Comes first here. Granary, excellent. Exactly what I was looking for. When I clicked that, I was like, man, I hope I get a way to increase the amount of gold I earn from my farms. And they gave it to me. It's insane. Crazy. Now I just need to get some farms. In Builder Plus, I might have actually liked that. Also, Weasel Barrels only hit monster eggs for 1. That's crazy. I guess we could lose this one to, it's hard to lose this here, though. I was gonna say we could lose it to something like we lost in the last one, where we just have all of our units walk off and die. But with Plague Rat, he's got that increased range as well, so it's hard for him to... he hits enemies when they are out of range of guards, usually. There's like 1 or 2 moments there, like in the forest, I think it was, where my guards were aggroing and walking out from behind the wall. If they always did that, I think that like a lot of my issues with the AI in this game would be solved. I don't know what causes that. I think it might be if they if the enemies hit the wall is going to be my guess. If an enemy hits the wall, maybe then your units will walk out, like your guards will walk out, because they'll be like, oh, there's an enemy out there. I gotta go get him. Right? Something like that is what I was considering as potentially the answer to why did it happen that one time and hasn't happened since. How do I get this to happen to me more? Ultimately, my answer is I don't know. It's okay. It's interesting, because Ratropolis, I think Dagon said it on stream, it's a game that has like you can be significantly better at this game than someone else, right? There's an insane amount of a skill ceiling to this game, which it doesn't seem like there should be, right? I guess not. I honestly think that, I don't know, I was gonna maybe say that someone who's really good at this game versus someone who's really good at a different, basically the difference in between like the worst and best player in this game is greater than the difference between the worst and the best player in something like Slay the Spire, right? That's how I was gonna phrase it. Research doesn't sound great. Territory expansion makes me take that wave time down of it, but 2 houses is worth it, I think. Just because the thing is, there's so much little shit to learn in this game, there's so much little nuance in it, that you just have to learn. Like, there's no other choice, you just have to learn it. You've got to learn things like, oh yeah, this unit doesn't do well on this map because of a specific enemy, and like, for example, Shield Rat is kind of bad in my opinion on the forest, because if you stack up a bunch of Shield Rats and you don't have a strong backline, they're going to just walk out into the enemies and die on you, right? For example, and I think that the Leader Pluses only serve to extend this problem a little bit, but also you can learn, right? That's the other thing. You can learn this game. It's not too hard, I don't think, to learn anyway. I learned it. And like I said with Monster Train yesterday, if I'm able to do it, you can probably do it. I'm a fool. I think that monster is just a waste of 3 population. A 22-140 sounds cool, but I think that he's not that good. If it weren't for that targeting error, right? Because like that's, I guess because there are stats that are hidden in this game too, like attack speed, you have no idea. For example, like monster is a 2-100, and based on what you have to go off of, it's just a 2-100, and this unit does the same amount of damage per second as guards does, or not quite the same, right? Like the monster egg should do roughly 66% of the damage that a guard does. However, because of things like attack speed, right, it's not even close. Of course, guards pumps out way more damage, but you wouldn't know that just by looking at the card. You have to play with it and learn it. And put a 3rd monster egg down. It's really interesting for that reason, I think. I wonder how they're gonna nerf Plague Doctor, because there's no way they leave this unit like this. With the history of cards like this, I don't think that, one thing that I think that the devs of this game are really good at is not over-nerfing a card. I don't think that after the patch, Plague Doctor is going to be unplayable. This is something that's happened in Monster Train with a few cards that I really liked. Sap Totem is probably the best example, but a lot of cards in Monster Train that were really strong in the past have been dumpstered. They've been absolutely destroyed by nerfs, and I was very sad to see Sap Totem go. I was very sad to see Sap Totem go. No Hyper Beam just because it feels good to do so. Like it really, it's not something that was good there. Like it feels nice to play Hyper Beam. But no, there's a lot of cards in Monster Train that get a little bit got, so to say. They were very powerful and the devs put them in their place. I don't think that the devs of this game are going to do that, right? A good example of this is like Delivery, I think is probably the best example of this, actually. It's like I'm not playing Espionage, but it's because I don't need to. I feel like I don't want to play any more guards. If I have to play more guards, something went wrong. I'm going to get rid of this cheese. Can I offer you a nice cheese in this trying time? But I think Delivery is the best example of why I think that these guys are pretty good at balancing this game overall. Delivery was a card that was definitely, like, indisputably broken. That card, you pick up Delivery, you play it, like... Or you don't play it, right? You just... You bank up enough gold to redraw it, like, 10 or 20 times, and then you just win the game. And it still does win you the game, mind you. Like, the card is still going to win you the game if you play it. If you pick Delivery, you upgrade it, and you farm it out, you win. Delivery wins you the game for sure. However, it takes a lot longer and you have to be in a much more stable position to do it with confidence. And it's not really a risk per se, because it's just one card slot in your deck. The card still does what it just does it a little slower, right? And in a game like this, the speed at which a card does what it's supposed to do is very important, because like in actual human time, this game's timing matters. Oh, I can pivot back to the Triumph. This is great news. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pivot back into the Triumph path and get the population. However, I was able to. Great to know. Very, very good information to have. I also, like, I love this change where enemies will spawn outside of broken walls now. Thank God. I think the coast got significantly easier with this change. Like, I think to the point where I think that the desert is a harder map than this one now, off of it. And that's fine with me. Because this map used to be not my favorite, to say the least. My exact words after every run were, God, I hate this map. If I remember correctly. I'm gonna fire a wave, I want to watch these guys go. And this game isn't without its flaws, of course, but I feel like the developers are doing a good job of... Oh my god. They're doing a good job of keeping the game fun and keeping cards that feel good to play good enough while not gutting them too much. Right, bringing them in line, I suppose, is how I'd like to put it. It's interesting because I wonder if the developers of Monster Train are at all influenced by the fact that Slay the Spire is a game that is still played with a reasonable amount of competition on Twitch. Right? I wonder if they're trying to capture some of that competition. Competition? I don't know why my brain decided that I wanted to say that word differently. Competition? Nope. Capetition? No. Anyway, I wonder if the devs of Monster Train looked at something like Slay the Spire still being streamed on Twitch 2 years after it entered early access, right? And they're like, okay, we want to balance for High Covenant, we want to balance for Ascension 20, and we want that. Because there's no doubt in my mind that Slay the Spire has increased longevity because of that streaming like community that has built up on Twitch, right? Whereas you look at Monster Train, and like when I look at Monster Train during my time slot, there's usually like 3 or 4 other people on, and they're like half of them are streaming in the wrong category typically. Like I went to look at one stream and it was just some dude playing Magic Arena instead of playing Monster Train, and I was like, hey, this isn't Monster Train, this is Magic Arena. And I would have watched it because I'm considering learning Magic Arena, but you know, it was in German. So I was unable to. Speaking of that, you know, 2 things I should mention. A little late for me to mention this, of course, but did hit 1,000 subs on the channel. Very cool. What a journey it's been. If you've just recently joined me, or if you've been here for a hot minute, if you've been here through all of the Ratropolis, thank you. Either way. Very unfortunate. I guess I'm just gonna play a monster and it's okay. This isn't good. But yeah, 1,000 subs, crazy. I haven't gone through the process of monetization yet. I need to make my videos YouTube friendly now, which I have completely forgotten about. 100%. I gotta stop saying the bad words. I'm no longer allowed to swear. Get ready for some frickin' high octane gameplay. I think I'm okay about swearing though. I don't think I swear too much. It's something that I kind of reserve, I think, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know. I don't listen to myself talk very much. It's alright either way. We'll get there, right? It's a journey. No more bad, no more frigs, and no more hex, you know? It's a new era. Did they hit themselves with that plague vial? Did you see that? I think they might have hit themselves with a plague vial. Boys, you're gonna have to kill that crab. You're gonna have to, boys, you wanna, boys, I'm just gonna leave them the ones who won the crab. Alright, good work. Proud of you guys. But on top of that, one of the things that I've been talking about, I've been talking about playing Magic for a while, right? Magic Arena on stream, things like that, because it's a lucrative game to get into, I feel like, in terms of streaming. It's something with a pretty good audience, and also just looks fun, right? I've missed Hearthstone a little bit. Now, the question is, do I know anyone who knows Magic Arena? The answer to this question, I'm going to tell you, is yeah, is Cranberry. Cranberry said that he'd be interested. If I was interested, he would be down to teach me how to play Magic Arena. So we may do that. I don't know if it's going to be a YouTube video or if it's going to be a stream thing, but either way, I may do a co-op thing with him, which if I do, it'll be on YouTube. You won't miss it if I stream it. Either way about it. It's crazy because now there's an audience of people who watch it just on YouTube. I can't, like, it used to be back in like February, back in like March, it was all Twitch. Everyone who was watching on YouTube was from Twitch. I didn't have to think about it, but now it's like, yeah, there's people who are watching who only watch on YouTube. I got to hit adrenaline, by the way. Or did I? All part of my master plan to get some of my units killed to free up population. Of course. But no, there's an audience that's just YouTube. And a lot of people have been coming through and being like, hey, I've been watching on YouTube, glad to finally catch a stream. And I imagine a lot more people are like, I wish I could catch a stream. But I can't because you stream at really dumb hours. To which I would say, yeah. Yeah. By the way, this guard strat, real strong. Scientist Plus in particular really seems to be powerful if you can just power out 15 guards and upgrade them like I did here. Which isn't too difficult, really, in Scientist. With a turn 1 preserve, I think you can always do what we did here. You just want to preserve when you have at least 1 cheese in hand. Like 1 cheese and then probably grain or just a military unit like Lab Rat, one of those two. And then you preserve both of them and win the game. Is what I imagine here. But yeah. If you're interested in... I'm going to try and make sure that anything that I think is interesting that you may want to watch on YouTube that I do on stream, I'm going to try and make sure that there's a way for you to watch it, right? I've got the Sekiro VODs, they're just raw 5-hour VODs. I've tried using the auto exporters, like, convert this into 15-minute segments, but it never has worked for me, and I don't know why. It would be a little more digestible, but also a 5-hour VOD cut into 15-minute segments would just spam your uploads, so, you know. I'm trying not to do that, at least. I'm trying to keep the videos at least somewhat. I'm trying to not overload you with content, I guess. Also, like, I don't want to... if I could cut it into 15-minute segments, I probably would, and I'd probably upload them like 2 or 3 at a time. Over the course of a day. Something like that, but, you know. Sekiro's pretty fun, by the way. Game's really good. I think I mentioned that in the first half of this video before I got up and walked away for like 15 minutes, but... regardless. What else do I have to tell you? Not much. We're coming to the close of this episode. Now we just fill time. What do I talk about when I fill time? Either A, joke stylings, or B, music. Oh, you know what I want to talk about actually? Comedy music. That's what I want to talk about. What a great idea. I've talked about him before. Mr. Lil Dicky. Comedy music as a whole, I don't actually know how far I've gone into talking about comedy music, but like funny parodies, I guess is what I want to talk about. Someone left a comment on one of the Monster Train highlights of like I think in the video we talked about K-pop, and they left like hey, there's other types of K-pop, and they linked me to this video, and the video was a parody from 2012 called, what was it? It was called Klingon Style, which was a parody of Psy's Gangnam Style, but like a Star Trek parody, and then all of the parts where Psy's rapping in Korean, it's this dude speaking Klingon, and I don't know, like it just, parodies as a whole, I think I have talked about parodies before, but like it's so strange to me. How did we get here from there? Like it's a video that I think would not get released in this day and age by any means. I think there's no chance that someone would put that out. Or maybe they do, right? Do you guys, I guess my question here, holy moly. My question for you here, as we wrap up this video, is do you know of any channels that still do parody songs and parody uploads? Are there people who still do that? I wonder. There was like I guess, I know there's been like a few fringe cases, right? There was a Don't Stand So Close to Me social distancing video by a principal in some state, I remember. But are there any dedicated like dubs channels? Like, you remember the dude who dubbed over Friday by Rebecca Black? That shit was like, that was prime. That was great content. Everyone referenced that. The My Hand is a Dolphin shit. Everyone referenced that back in like 2013. And then it just kind of like dubs and parodies as a whole just kind of fell off. I wonder if anyone is still doing like dedicated dubs as their content. And if so, I wonder if they just got killed off when YouTube rebranded itself, maybe. Because I recognize that it's just something that never shows up in my recommended. And I get some weird shit in my recommended, right? Like, it's not just something that's like, because I used to watch those videos. Don't worry, I'll wrap this up here pretty soon. You can click off. The video is obviously over. But I used to watch those videos, so you would think that I'd get recommended then if the YouTube algorithm pushed them. I wonder if the algorithm has killed them off. Because I get recommended random shit, like some lady talking about a book that she read. That's a young adult book about a bunch of fairies doing the dirty. And I'm like, this does not line up with my interests at all, and yet I'm still gonna watch it because I think it's really, like, this lady's pretty funny, right? And maybe dubs just have been killed off by YouTube. Maybe YouTube did it to them, and parodies are the same way. I don't know. An interesting thought. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.